Hello. Listen, this is Mrs. Pond. I'm trying to get Juliet up so you can meet her. There we go. Can you see Juliet? Can you see Juliet? There we are. There's Juliet. Yeah. Such a good dog. Okay. Today we're going to compare fractions, which is a really similar to what you did yesterday. Comparing fractions, find the simplest form of a fraction is, you're managing your fractions. When you're trying to figure out what fraction is larger and when fraction is smaller, sorry about that. There are more things that you can do to help you solve that problem. You're not going to use the same method all the time, but you will gravitate to one or the other. This is in the student reference book, obviously, you see down the bottom. But here are some really good tricks on how to compare fractions. If you have a common numerator, then absolutely you're going to be able to tell which fraction is larger and which fraction is smaller. So for example, here they said, I can't exactly read it, but it looks like there's a 5 in the numerator, and then the denominators are different. The denominator for one is 7 and the other is 8. Well, if it's 7 pieces, is 7 pieces is larger than 8 pieces. So that's one. The other one that people find really helpful is compare to a half. That puts it in perspective. Oh, for goodness sakes. Comparing to 1. Most kids don't find that as helpful as comparing it to a half. Using equivalent fraction, that people find really helpful. Going ahead and just finding a common denominator and changing the fraction so they both have the same denominator. That's something you do kind of at the last part. If you totally can't tell, then change it to a common denominator. And then convert to decimals is one that a lot of people like because it's easy to do with a calculator. But in a lot of the pages that you end up doing, they have that little no calculator sign, so that's not one you can use a lot. So anyway, you can refer back to this. This is a really good list. And so remember, Student Reference Book 75. Right, here we go. This is a really good image because it shows you equivalent fractions. So we have 3/4 on one side. Oh, for goodness sakes. And then we have 9/12 on the other. And you could absolutely see that the level is totally the same. It's just that there are more lines in it. Same thing over here. Well, I mean, not the same fraction, but the same thing goes. And then here, the thing that I liked about this is they had, yesterday we talked about 24/60ths. And here they have 24/60ths, and it showed it's divided by 12. Well, 12 is the greatest common factor of both of them. And so you divide it by that, and you get the simplest fraction. Go ahead and read this if you choose, but what I really wanted you to see was that 2/3 equals, and then x over 12. When you do that, you look at the relationship between 3 and 12. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. So then you do 2 times 4 is 8, and that gives you the numerator. So that's pretty true. Oh, for goodness sakes. So as this goes through and explains that chart that we saw before, comparing to the fractions, and you can see that the relationship as you look at the variety of fractions here. It's all about relationships, truly, with fractions. You have to look at numbers and figure out how they're related. Now, this this is a bit, kids kind of like this one sometimes. So what you do is you say, you take the denominator of one and multiply it times the numerator of the other. Um, and so as you'll see, 7 times 2 equals 14, 3 times 5 is 15. And so 14 is smaller than 15, so that means 2/5 is smaller than 3/7. Okay, let's try. Oh, is that it? All right, we're done. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Okay, well, onward and upward. Do your best and enjoy 4-2.